Now, for the first time in the same league game, Arsenal, for the first time since 1986, have had two teenagers score in the same match, and that's because Ethan Nwaneri, what a week he's had, right? He came off the bench and did this.
Look at that pass from Declan Rice.
Great pass from Declan. I remember seeing it here. But the thing again with Ethan, even like he had a couple of games on the spin, and he had a little niggle, so you're having to make sure that you manage him as well. But he probably is chomping at the bit to go, and you could tell when he came on, he had pure intentions of. In fact, pure bad intentions. He wanted to come on, take people on. He done some good skills over on that right-hand side, got his opportunity and scored brilliantly. It's for the fans, this is magnificent.
And look, City are dead on their feet now. I know everyone will say, look, we've seen that one year, he likes to get in on his left foot, you can't show him inside. City were done. They were absolutely dead on their feet. Guardiola couldn't get out to him. Savinho couldn't get his feet moving, and he just played on that. He came on with such intensity. Like he said, he wanted to come on and make a statement today. And as soon as he tucked inside and realised that they hadn't read it, that looks like his finish. It looks like we're going to see that a few more times.
Yeah, well, he's still 17. That's his third Premier League goal. So before turning 18, only two players can better that. Wayne Rooney and...
Miguel Uso.
There we go. I'm on the list. I'm on the list.
You got 5.
Well, you give me a bad stat about my performances here. We're level now.
We're level.
I'll let you off.
Right, all smiles from an Arsenal point of view. None bigger, I'm sure, than the manager. Here he is, Mikel Arteta.
Well, Mikel, 5 goals, 2 of them from teenagers. The team you hold up as the benchmark, soundly beaten. I mean, the days come much better than this.
Yeah, it's a great day for us, obviously, especially with the necessity that we had to win the game to sustain the pressure up there. And the manner that we've done it, obviously, really, really pleased. You need everything in these games. There are moments that we were very dominant, moments that we had to suffer and be deep, moments that we need a bit of luck, and we had it. But overall, obviously, a very happy day.
Was the way you pressed them, the way you squeezed them, certainly for the first 2 goals, absolutely key to your success today?
Yeah, there are moments in the game that you can have those ones, and sometimes you are very willing to press them, and they are that good that it's very difficult, and they hold you very, very deep. And on those moments, you have to suffer, and as I said, sometimes be a bit lucky. But overall, I think we scored some beautiful goals in different manners, and the team showed a really high competitive level.
You spoke before the match about micro games or micro decisions, little details that might decide it. What were those details that decided today?
It's a really thin line. You go on high press and you win it, great. You hold the ball after winning it, great. If not, you defend your box, And it's a team that demands you everything because they are so good. And when we have those margins, today they went our way.
So the few seconds it was 1-1, quite anxious at that point?
Yes, obviously, because obviously that gives them momentum, and we had in that period as well, we were deep for 4, 5, 6 minutes in a row. We didn't defend the ball in the box that well, and then they have this quality. Obviously, when you allow Haaland in the duel 1-against-1 with the biggest space in the box, he's capable of doing that.
I mentioned your teenagers, particularly Miles Lewis-Skelly today. How do you feel for him, especially after what he went through last weekend?
Yeah, you need big individual performances against this team to beat them in the manner that we've done, and Miles was certainly one of them. The maturity that he showed, the competitiveness as well. On top of that, he scores a goal, probably is not in the books. Great, and Ethan comes in again and he plays with that personality again, and he's got a beautiful goal.
With Miles, just tell us a bit about his journey. I've heard you talk about it a little bit in your press conference. You saw him and he was a midfielder. How have you got him ready for this team, and how has he got himself ready for this team?
It's him. He's been pushing us since he's been with us. We really like the character, the personality. He's got so much courage. He's very well prepared. He's very intelligent, and he's got qualities that fit in the way we want to play. And then he earned the right to get respected by the teammates. Then he got some minutes, he got them, and he's asking for more. And even the competition is high, he deserves to play.
What did you make of the spirit today's game was played in? There was maybe a few moments where it looked like it might spill over, but I guess you'd expect a bit of that between 2 big rivals at the top of the Premier League. And I think you've just walked towards your interview, you and Pep together, so all seems well.
You have to. I mean, you're going to suffer in periods of the game, you know that. And we did it when we had to do it, again, with a bit of luck in the right moments. And then we have the opportunity to win the game and be ruthless. Today we were.
OK, so it's been a Sunday to celebrate for Arsenal fans. Might it be a Monday to celebrate for Arsenal fans as well with what you do in the transfer market? How likely is something, Mikel?
I don't know. I just been focused the last 24 hours on what we had to do to try to beat Man City. Now we've done it. Okay, we will discuss the situation as we always do, and then Newcastle. That's the important thing.
But I mean, you've talked. I know guys like me have asked you again and again. How necessary is it that you get something in? But then I guess you don't want to leave yourself in a situation in the summer where you've eaten into your budget and PSR constraints and stuff like that.
No, it's about the intentions, and the intention, I think we've been very clear from every angle what we want to do, and the other one is the reality and what you are able to do.
So it's possible.
It's always possible.
Always possible. Arsenal fans hope so. Right, this is the moment where Michael and I look up to another giant, none bigger than the Arsenal legend and former captain Tony Adams. Big smile on your face as well,
big
Tony.
Smile, mate. Big
I mean,
smile.
how good
day.
was that?
Fantastic. Got a couple of leg ups. Man City made some horrific errors early on, and we took advantage of it and then buried them.
That's the crucial thing. They haven't been taking chances in recent weeks. They did today.
Phenomenal. Great. It's great to see the kids coming on and playing so well. And Miles, he's invented this new position, hasn't he, Miles? It's like, we used to have inside forwards. We've got inside defenders now. Got like inside left back, you know. Can you imagine Nigel or Dicko? You're like, get out of there.
It's brilliant.
Phenomenal. What a kid. What a prospect, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. You were eulogising about him, weren't you, right in front of us?
Yeah, well, we've seen, obviously, we've got so many great players here, established players, but a couple of youngsters, Tony, at 17 and 18. I mean, the future looks bright as well, and I'm told that the academy is quite strong in behind it. So
yeah, we've had Saka in recent years come through as well. You've got to get, you know, when you've got Man City and the model that they've got with the structure of multi-clubs and all these players coming into the 350 million wage bill, you have to be creative. You have to work on your youth team and bring kids through or be sensible in the transfer market. Who'd have thought Havertz had been playing like he is, to be honest with you? He's a complete gamble for us. And he's not... Righty, he's a great finisher, no?
The movement in that tone is fantastic, but because it's not natural to him like it would be to me and Mike, simply because we're constantly training in that way. He wasn't doing that. He's come here and he's turned into a forward. So he's doing all that stuff on the fly. So like, see with the first chance, you think to yourself, he looked like he weren't ready for that, whereas we'd probably be ready for that. Know exactly what the second one, when he's running onto it, he can cut inside and finish it with aplomb. It's because he's got that ability. But
you would have put greatest Michael as well.
Southern country here.
But when you're so dynamic in that position, you're not going to get someone that floats out and creates space for other people as well. Goals are coming from all over. Yeah. Back in your day, you could score 30 goals and no one else used to score. You know what I mean? But all of a sudden, because he's creating space, the inside guys coming off the line, playing him, feeding with him, you get goals from other areas.
And that's what we've done. We've done that last season. We had 4 or 5 of our players had 10 goals each. And that's what I think was the model. But then obviously once you do get into certain games, you know what it's like as well when it's going against you, and then you get that striker who can nick the goal, Aguero, Owen, you know, that kind of stuff, foul. You're talking about someone when it's not going for the team, and you need someone to get half a chance and take it. I think in some instances, that's what Arsenal need to then settle down and play like they can play like that.
To take us to the next level.
Absolutely.
To actually win the league.
That's what we want.
Like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Completely agree with you.
That's what I'm thinking, Skip.
What about this season, though? I mean, what if they don't get one in the next 24 hours, which is highly unlikely at this stage of the season?
I think they're fall short again. Both squads there today have been hit by injuries, and we just didn't have enough strength in depth. Last couple of seasons when Saliba got injured, we didn't have the quality that went in and substituted him, unfortunately, and we fell away and come second again. And if you're not careful, Liverpool, with Mo Salah in particular, he had a rest during the summer. These guys have been playing for 2 years, you know, World Cups, European Championships, top of their games, and they've just, you know, we've really, you know, we've won 5-1 without Saka, and Saka's where we are, you know, today because of that kid, you know, he's been phenomenal for us. So it's really difficult to actually keep going and keep going and keep going. You're going to run out of steam. You're going to get injuries. That's why the best squad wins the league. And at the moment, Liverpool are just getting too many wins for me. They're too strong. They're too balanced. And we're going to have to win every single game, to be honest with you, to go above them. And I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to hope. And like today's result, and Liverpool will look and I say, it's a good result for you. 5-1 City. Of course, you're going to look at that and think to yourself, oh, that's pretty impressive. But again, Liverpool are very much in command of their own destiny right now. They've got players who are experienced at this level of the season. They know how to finish off a season like this, and they've got very good young players who are coming through into it as well. So you just feel like it's going to take a calamitous mistake from Liverpool for it to happen. But at the same time, Arsenal just have to keep doing that. Just keep beating teams, and if it does happen, then they've got to be ready to take the chance.
And if you're in that dressing room now, to do that in that manner would be an injection of confidence and belief at this stage, Tony?
To be fair, they'll probably play it down. It's just 3 points. Back in my day, it was 3 points, move on. It's all about preparation and recovery today, and they'll be thinking about the next game. And, you know, they were singing it in the crowd. Everyone, can we play you every week? You know what I mean? Man City are perfect to play at the moment. Yeah, how the champions have fallen. But, you know, they will recover, by the way, and we need to go and you need to beat Liverpool this season, because Man City have come a game. They're too good not to. You know, they've got too many quality players, and they'll go again in the transfer market, and he'll get things right. But I just think they made so many. I was up with George Graham before the game, and we were both going, "My God, this is heart attack football." You know, it's so open. It's great for the public. They love the 5-1. I'm sitting up there going, "Oh, Saliba, come on, clean sheet. What's he doing getting inside?" Anyway, did I answer your question?
City, has Tony got a point? Are they giving too many teams chances at the moment?
Yeah, they're poor at the moment. No getting away from it. They're fragile. They haven't been fragile for so long. You know, they've been involved in games where they've been able to dictate and dominate, and when they've got in the lead, or when they've had that little blip, you know, they've conceded a goal, not a problem. They've got one back and then gone on to win. Arsenal, you could tell today Arsenal had no fear today, and I said it before. I've been to a few Manchester City games, and teams don't fear them. They respect them, of course they do. They know what they're capable of, but they don't see, for example, that goal coming back in today, and Arsenal didn't roll their eyes. The stadium didn't feel it. They didn't go, "Oh no, here we go, we've lost our chance." To immediately score again and then to want to score more, the slight fear factor that City have built up, and deservedly built up through the years, has slightly gone. But I agree with Tony. They'll go back to the drawing board. They're too good. They're too well invested. And this is a great opportunity for Arsenal to topple City. But they've got to chase Liverpool now, who have also had the same mentality.
How about our goalie?
Honestly,
two crucial
so important. You know what a title-winning goalkeeper does.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what David Seaman did behind you. He didn't necessarily have much to do, but every now and again you looked at him, you gave me a nod, and you said, "Nice one, Dave. Away we go. We'll go and win the game for you now." And he was excellent today, and he's really growing, because he was a Brentford goalkeeper. Now he's a proper Arsenal title contending goalkeeper.
Fascinating to see what happens with Manchester City in the coming weeks, because as the guys have just mentioned, once a team gets a sniff that there's a vulnerability there, and now people can say, "Oh, Manchester City, they're playing out from the back again, we can go and win the ball." Everybody will have watched that game today, and even the lesser teams in the Premier League will think, right, and now almost Manchester City are going to have to play through the pain barrier, play through a hardship, and almost put manners on other teams again, and pop it round and do what they used to do. But they might have to go through a bit of pain in the meantime, because a lot of people have lost a bit of respect for them in many ways, in terms of they know that they can get at them now.
We'll talk about Manchester City and hear from Pep Guardiola shortly, but before we let Tony go, I just want to show you the incident with Gabriel and Haaland and get your reaction to this after Arsenal had taken the lead. Watch Gabriel here when the ball hits the back of the net with Erling Haaland, Tony, and you can take it away. We've heard Righty.
Okay.
Would you have done
To be honest with you, I'd rather Gabriel lift the trophy like that and then go phone him up and go, "Oh, by the way, we've just won the league." That'd be better. But that's on its way.
No, it's totally
It's on its way.
Did you see a little bit of footage after? That's literally what Erling Haaland just did. He just showed him the champion's badge.
Exactly, yeah.
But I love it. You must have loved all that. You must have loved two. It's not like there was no bullying going on. The two colossal players having it.
Fantastic. And likewise, I was really disappointed with Saliba, the way that he marked it. You know, it was ball and play. He got too tight with the guy. Got in front of him, you know. He'd be kicking himself in there, and we've got to learn from that. You know, but Gabriel, I loved that. You know, that was my game.
That was brilliant. It was great to see.
You were almost into your Spanish dance then.
I'm getting all excited. Well played, son. Come on.
You're right to be excited after a 5-1 against Manchester City. Tone, great to see you. Thank you very much. Tony Adams, League reverse. Let's see what the manager thinks about it. Here he is, Pep Guardiola.
Pep, obviously a very difficult game to try and digest everything that happened, particularly in the second half to you.
No, the game, only I regret the last 20-25 minutes that we forgot to do what we should do, what we have done during 60, 65, 70 minutes. So of course, it's a difficult game starting the stadium against that team in the first minutes, and happened many times this season. But after 10, 15 minutes, I think we took the game and we played really, 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 really good. And we are in the season like after 1-1 and good momentum with a pass to make the transition with Omar and deflection and the third goal. But after that, we then continue to do what you have to do in terms defensively and a little bit more patient, because when we play in that way, they can run, and of course with 3-1 they are more comfortable, it's more difficult. So I regret the last 50, 20 minutes. The rest was a really good game for our side. It's difficult to understand when you see the result, but this is my feeling.
Obviously the first goal of the game coming so early in the game from a defensive error, similar to last weekend against Chelsea in a way. It's not a great start when you're in this environment against such a good team.
It's happened all season. We are giving away too many things. Still, we are not aware. We talk, but we are not aware with this. Cannot happen. It happened, but we react really well, and we play in personality. We defend so good, and when the ball we were quite threat, but unfortunately after the second it happened again many times. We had momentum for deflection and other situations we concede the goals.
Obviously it's a big deflection on the second goal, and coming so soon after Erling had equalised, it's a bit of luck for them, and it's a key moment in the game.
Definitely. But you have to overcome. But you cannot lose the control. It's 95 minutes, so we cannot finish in the way we play. We could have scored 3 more. So the team always has to be stable. It doesn't matter what happened in knockout games. So in the first situation, we lose what you have to do. It's so difficult.
He's very honest there, Joe. They've forgotten, weren't doing what would he expect them to do in the last 25 minutes.
Yeah, I honestly felt that. He seems humbled this season in the fact that he knows they're going to lose games with how they're playing, and he's okay with that. He's always been okay with mistakes. That's the high intensity that they play, and when it's not to the perfection and quite to the level, playing in the Premier League at the likes of the Emirates against a good Arsenal team, they can get hurt. But I felt that. I'm the same as him. Last 25 minutes, they just look a bit lost souls. What do we do here? Do we have to go and push for a goal, or do we defend deep? They just looked a bit lost, and that'll be really disappointing. That will hurt him a lot.
I think
Arsenal steamrolled them today, and he will be disappointed. Conceding 5 goals for only the second time, as you say, in his career is not something he'll want. But there we go, dust himself down and get back at it.
And that's all he can do, isn't it? And he said that himself, to challenge himself.
Yeah. He's in like that territory. He's not really too familiar being in losing as many games. What's that? 11 games they've lost this season, 7 in the Premier League. And I think that even when you look at the last 25 minutes, you look at the way the team is, and they're not used to losing like that. There's almost like people are looking around to see, well, what we meant to do here, what's going on, because it looks so disjointed when they started to lose, and you're thinking, surely Manchester City are not going to just capitulate like this. And then they went a 3 and a 4 and a 5, and then you can look and you almost feel like the team's looking around to say, what do we do? This isn't meant to be happening to us. So what do we do from here? And again, because you can't blame it all on Rodri, but obviously this has started when Rodri came out of the team. He's a massive miss. He's a massive miss in there. And you have to mention him now, because the breaks, what people are breaking on City, that does not happen with him. I think the biggest problem that they've had, they haven't recruited well for the last couple of seasons, I personally believe, and that's why the Zubimendi thing went really we got to try and get him. It was a rushed thing, and I think that's the problem that Man City have had. They've not recruited well up to this point, and then people have got to that stage where they're getting a bit older and they're moving on. The young players are coming in, trying to settle, and he's trying to change a whole new maybe era of a team, and that's what they're going through at the moment. And you could see that in the way they lost today, because they didn't know where it came from. They were just like, what's going on here?
Well, the standards they've hit and the success they've had, for a lot of these players, they just haven't, as I was saying to Phil Foden, he just had, since he came into the team, he just hasn't had this experience in football.
Yeah, they haven't, but come on, they're not aliens, they're not from a different planet. They've seen there's great examples, there's so much learning to do, there's so many conversations. These aren't just turning up on a Saturday and thinking, if we sprinkle our wand over us, we'll start playing like Manchester City again. It's going to be hard work, that position. Obviously, Rodri is a huge miss, but he was out. He did, he's done his knee. He's out for a long, long time. You have to recover. You have to recoup. In the board, you have to have these discussions. Pep Guardiola has to have these discussions. Who can play there? Who can be as disciplined as Rodri? Who can help them in that way? So look, it's a difficult moment, but that'll be worrying. Like I say, last 20 minutes, those last 3 goals, in the way that the mentality shifted. There's some hard conversations to be had. It's big moments for the manager as well. He's going to be looking at himself, and I'm not saying they're not, because they're top professionals and they want the best out of it. But you can't have this long where you're looking for answers. There's answers out there. You can change this.
He's going to have to change it, because when you look at the fixtures that are coming up, they're not the easiest on paper for Manchester City. And obviously, they have those 2 huge Champions League playoffs against Real Madrid, home and away as well. They've got the cup tie. They've got Newcastle at home. They've got Liverpool at home, Spurs away, and Nottingham Forest. We all know how well they're doing. I mean, when you look at the next 6 weeks for Manchester City, they're season-defining.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? And sometimes you can think, well, at least we're in the Champions League, and